Hello boys, my name is Yoshi. Welcome back to my blind playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for Switch with Japanese voices enabled. Well, I guess this is most of the bonus content because we've already beaten the game, but the last episode we left off, well, more of the same, basically just going around and doing some bonus effects or whatever. I don't know. You're wondering why we're in Upper Ada? That's because our next strongest monster is over here. We can actually find bunnets around here. So a big thing about bunnets is I'm not actually intentionally not going to farm them because I want to save those for a later video. But as you see, there's lots of different monsters you can farm here, some of which are really good for certain spots. There's also areas and whatnot. Anyway, we're looking for Volffs. Unfortunately, Volffs do not have a very high drop rate of their items, and the closest landmark I could find that was not terribly far out of the way was northeast of this area, but there really isn't a northeast, is there? So I guess we'll just be walking around normally. Oh, here they are. So we're looking for these purplish Volffs with like a purple cover. You know what? I think the time is now. Since this monster is probably not going to have jet otherwise, I'm gonna probably switch otherwise. I'm gonna actually, you know what? You know what? I think it's time to do the special thing I was going to do before. So while we look around for the random Volffs, I figure it'd be better to actually do this now, since I guess now's better late than never. So yeah, we get to level down our characters all the way down to... No, we're not doing level 1, we're just doing... Whatever, let's do 49. That was kind of a big stall, but you'll see why in a minute. I believe if you downloaded each character at level 1, they have a special effect that they mention. I think they have a specific dialogue option if you down-level them down a significant amount, particularly to level 1. And just so you know, whenever I do this, I am AoEing down the whole party to ensure that nobody is able to overgrind the levels of it. Since the area intends you to be around 49 to 50, that's what we're going to do. And actually keep our balance set up. Then I was actually thinking of also changing lance to FRFS. So now all the monsters are slightly normal again, but there is one problem. You're probably gonna see that in a few minutes. Because we are now lower level, every single monster that we run into that isn't a massive monster will automatically aggro onto us, making it significantly more annoying to dodge ads. And also, there will be some red monsters now, but those are just alien killers. Those are easy enough to avoid just by making sure not to go the wrong way. But now the idea is we're basically gonna explore around and kill some of the Volffs. We already killed the Volffs on the right side area, so we're just gonna have to go elsewhere. And this is a strategy I would have used normally to get the Skeeters done, as well as some other stuff. Speaking of which, this is probably the best place to farm Skeeters and Bunnets in the game anyway, so I think I am going to actually be coming back here. Because, like, in terms of just, like, orange and purple plant, you just find so many of them throughout this area that it's probably easiest to just get the Bunnet materials here anyway, because, like, look at how many there are. We've already come across at least 8 of them. They're practically everywhere. Okay, it looks like we found a couple of good spots, so yeah, I guess just deep north is where you find the most Volffs. We'll hold our marker on this just so that we trigger the animation of that random drop happening. Okay, well, this did fix things a little bit, and now we can get at least one extra attack on him. Other than that, though, as far as I'm aware, there are no elites in this area, no regular things that can be damaged really quickly, and they're still pretty low out even through this attack, so I like the strategy where I did before when I first attacked. I think doing the Tyon's first strategy seems to work the best. There we go. That'll ensure that we do that. Yeah, we're no longer getting CP by the way because we don't have any CP to gain. All of our classes are maxed. Though it was still not maxed for a while though, but now things are a lot more different. I didn't want to down level too much, so I accidentally failed to build them at all, but I wanted to down level just enough to a point where I could significantly increase my odds of getting materials, and that seemed to allow us to, at minimum, get 1 burst off on them, so that will significantly speed up the grind a little bit. Well, this area actually has slightly higher ones. I know that. Whoa, oh, yeah, wow. Sudden level jump. No, thank you. I'm just, resetting. This is actually probably the best spot to fireman as far as I am aware. We will, be up-leveling our farming a little bit later. Oh, by the way, our next monster you're probably gonna remember quite a bit about. You remember those Amlayas that were so annoying to aggro? I am gonna show off all the uniques first. But, there are a couple of annoying setups that you'll probably see soon as we go through this. That just makes it really tense. Otherwise, though, you can kind of see the balancing issue with trying to run this area at a lower level and why I was typically avoiding it, because when you down level a monster, that makes the enemies within your level range again, and if they are aggressive, that means they will aggro onto you automatically, which means you can definitely end up pulling more than you want and sometimes just die outright from it. The idea, though, is slow down the battles enough that we can get at least 1 topple, maybe 2 sometimes, depending on the luck. But other than that, there are no elites elsewhere. Volff itself is much harder to find, unlike which Ferris is, also slightly bigger. Those ones are much easier to get. We've already shown you that there's a really good spot to farm Ferris materials, but not really a good spot to farm Volff materials, so we're basically treating it just like... I just realized something. I'm at the one area. I have a better idea. If I leave the other region and just come back to a central area, I can maybe just do a drop-off strategy and just farm them from front to end. The game mentioned going to, what is it, northeast of Gava Junction, so you would start there and then kind of make your way from over here, but that seems to actually be wasting more blocking time, so I'm going to show you guys a slightly better route, well, once we actually kill these Volffs. Because, you can get to that route a little bit faster by just entering the area normally. By the way, we don't want to pull more than one, as you saw there. If we do, then it just makes it a much longer hit for the setup. And by the time we get to the second enemy, we've typically already wasted a couple of our breaks and combos. Mainly because they are just regular monsters, they are much easier to break topple and whatnot, so the burst should be 100% consistent, especially if a break reach in hand. I guess that's another thing about downloading a bit too much. If you download too much, then the break just becomes almost nearly impossible to get off. So anyway, though, I don't know if I have this set up properly otherwise. By the way, this might actually be slower. I just find this to be more efficient because, well, we're only going for the monsters near the top of the cliff. Unfortunately, there really is no good landmark, annoyingly enough, but I'm thinking just leave this area so we trigger the load of another zone. This will automatically respawn the monsters, so no need to, you know, and when we reload and purposely trigger the event the second time, our landmark should now be set to the first one, and I literally just did that to make sure the landmark was set. I could have probably skipped that load and saved a lot of time, but I opted to go for it anyway. I just like playing safe. That's what I do. But anyways, I'm picking this route because now we can just do a couple skip jumps to skip some enemies. Those Ares don't actually attack us either. They're not aggressive, so we can just avoid them. We still get them down a massive amount of their health, only this time it's much easier to do stuff. I'm gonna do what I used to do. I'm gonna lure them over. I was actually hoping Miyabi would get that burst so that maybe we could, anything else, but whatever. Funnily enough, the only material we need from these are just the one named Full Skin. Kind of interesting, just single material just named Full Skin. Is a name As these are not elites, the drop rate for this is significantly worse, so similar to before, we're hoping for as many lucky monsters as possible. It removes the option for commons to be a drop, but sometimes causes a bunch of yellows to appear in its place. Okay, now we're getting better. Anyways, my idea is basically just go around, loop these 2 Volffs, and then you can actually either reset right away since it's an hour-long walk to the next area, but honestly, it's not really that bad. Then move over here where there'll be a few more Volffs. Yeah, like just a stone's throw away, realistically, or just a semi-big walk away, and they're already in another area with a bunch of my Volffs. You can instantly killing them. I'm just gonna let this one die before we go up to it. As you can see, this is a decently fast strat. Fast enough that we at least get a couple of materials. Honestly, you could do that other strat going from that one other landmark that I showed, but it's probably faster to do this. Then just like every other area and strat, we just immediately target a monster we don't need, give up, which returns us to the previous landmark, and then we run the entire route again. You can actually just do this from the 4th area, and this causes the Volffs to respawn immediately. By the way, don't worry, they are not a nighttime exclusive monster, as you can see by them staying up. But it's actually kind of nice to be able to hurt them. Oh my gosh, that was a miss. I think that's the first time in a while my great miss. I know we are lower level, but like, yeah, that straight up completely trolled us out there. If we had not gotten that great miss, we would have easily gotten that towel. Oh, here's a lucky monster. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, at least that time there was somebody made up for it, so it wasn't as bad. But, like, I swear, every great miss just wastes a lot of time. Well, there we go. Holy crap. We just got, like, 4 purples from one monster. I said that it might make the yellow drops a bit easier, but instead of doing that, it just got all purples, and for some reason they were all the one we wanted to, so that was lucky. Alright, I'm gonna actually stay my previous level, as I think this unique is actually around the same level. No, wait, actually, maybe not. Anyway, Moramoras are really annoying. So, there are a couple of monsters in here you could take on, but some of them are pretty annoying. First, we need to go to the only camp in this area. Is kind of annoying that this is the only camp in this area. I'm just going to go through 2 of the unique monsters here, because, again, remember, I'm trying to combine this with unique monster grinds at the same time, so I like to just do these together to make it a bit easier. And we're going to have to take on a 73 anyways for this episode. Now we're going to level back up. My idea, by the way, behind this is I basically only wanted to downlevel when absolutely necessary, and that was one of those times. It did help out a significant amount. It heavily raised our chances of at least getting a Days of Burst combo, which is nice. Anyways, there are 2 Moramoras to find, but if you remember Moramoras, they are super awkward and really annoying to farm. We'll show just one battle with this so that you can see how terrifying the battle as. So, yeah, this guy starts very close to you right away, and because he is out the edge, whenever you try to break in top of him, he will just go into the other zip. And there's not really a good way to fix this either, since if you run to the side, it's a flying monster, which means it has a massive range. Now you can see why this is a big pain. Needless to say, I probably don't even need to kill it for a light side area to let you know that this monster is basically unburstable. They basically probably set that up like, they probably set it up on purpose to make, because they figured you might try to cheese some of the fights to break, topple, and daze, so basically you can only ever break this monster. If you try and topple, daze, or loop it, it's just going to fall off the side of the cliff, and if the monster falls off any side of the cliff while he's toppling, will automatically turn to the battle now, and there's no way to get a 7-6. As a result of this, even getting this monster's drops is considered very unlikely to happen. To try and make it a bit more interesting, I am going to at least try to go close to it and glance here. If you had some kind of mechanic that allowed you to move it back, or maybe somehow get behind it and knock it back, you could skip that animation, but otherwise, yeah, it's a very awful and neat monster to farm. You know what? It doesn't even deserve my attention. I'm just gonna chain it to oblivion. It's low elf. Since we can only break it, we're just gonna leave it at that. I just keep the XP buff going from that. I'm just gonna go for this Dormolar. Hopefully this one art may be fine with a couple more, should kill it. Wait, what the frick? I could have sworn that Fane said, like, side topple for a second. I'm not sure if you saw that, but it looked really weird. Just gonna put this fast recharge on the field. Well, we got at least 2 of the tanks. It's actually a good time to do land simply because it's a really good map. Okay, there we go. Because we already have so much of an Elder Student. So, already have so many materials, just don't kill anyone. And now you'll see that we don't even get any materials because they fall off. Oh, okay. Oh, I think they just go straight into your inventory. Okay, so I thought they initially fall off the cliff, but apparently if they fall off a cliff, they just go straight into your inventory. In Xenoblade 2, I believe you just didn't get any drops, and also you killed them in a weird spot, like initially you could knock monsters off a cliff, it would actually count them. But it was really awkward. So obviously that monster is not going to work, so instead, we're going to go into Condensia Spray. Antia the Sea Spray Lookout, just above the Atom Shells. But this is a monster that would be pretty tough to even find at all. Anu Shells. almost forgetting where this is. Just warning when I have this. I know I at least have ammo shells, but I always forget which one's which. Oh, there's one. I know I have an Anu Shells cam, for sure. Oh yeah, it's over here. Jeez, I am not going the right side, it seems. Right. It's probably not actually the best spot, but now I know where to go, I think. Oh, so we need to go pretty high up, actually. This is another monster I believe we haven't killed yet. Thankfully, it seems to kind of tell us where to go. Apparently, we're supposed to climb very high above this area. Sea spray lookout. So first off, oh, hello. Hey. We found it, but weak monster in the way now, so we're gonna very quickly kill it. Anyway, it's another unique monster in a weird spot. This is another one where you have to lure to the field in order to even battle it. Otherwise, it'll be very tricky to even battle. This time around, like the previous monster, I'm gonna probably be trying to just, instead of forcing it to stay on the side area, I think I'm gonna just try and force it on the cliff. Now, there is a little bit of an annoying part, because you have these rhinos that just keep on getting in the way. I think we've already fawned this monster, but honestly, doesn't hurt to get a few extra kills. The idea is we're clearing this zone out. I'm gonna once again use Tyon as part of the setup. Anyway, though, this is kind of an annoying monster to farm, as you can already see. Essentially, it has a big... It is at Sea Spray Lookout, and also there is no way to get on top, so it is on the base level. The thing is, this thing has a gosh darn very long and very tediously annoying that part, because as you might have already noticed, yes, that monster is actually a flying around monster, which means it's actually just patrols around a massive part of the area. I believe it starts around this area, though, just for clarification. However, it is a very big pain to even fight. So, of course, we're going to find ways around that. Now, I think it's enough that... honestly, don't care if I accidentally pull the Rhinons. If so, the AoE abilities are probably just going anyway. Oh, and then rain gets in the way. It's actually not a good time for rain. I think that, yeah, I think that straight up just, we have to immediately get up, because thankfully rain's not too hard to remove. Except when it is, and yeah, that was very unlucky. So yeah, there's lots of shenanigans, and also, yeah, this monster does not like to come out in the rain, so you can see even getting this to aggro is a big pain in the butt. If you can get it swooped properly, then it's a pretty fast farm once you get the hang of it. The problem is it's just super hard to aggro, and also, like our Moramoras, they do not come out during the rain. So we have to leave the whole area and come back just to get it at the single darn monster to respawn. Obviously, we're going to immediately lure it using Taion, and then very quickly try to burst it into a corner. And from there, we just want to make sure that we can burst it into a corner as many... Oh my gosh. I did try to change this weather by doing the setup. Usually this works, but for some reason it still didn't... Okay. Now it's just regularly cloudy, but it's fine. We should at least see the monster now. Ah, yeah, see, here it is. It comes up to the side area. As it is super hard to aggro, we are once again going to have to lure it. And I think you're going to need at least some lure effects in order to even lure it at all. Now you can see, both of the unique monsters are actually kind of a pain in the butt to even hack at all. Thankfully, there is one spot where you seem to be able to hit it from. Just very tedious, as you have to wait a very long time before you can even attack it. So, see, I'm just kind of spamming the button here to get like kind of far to the edge of the map, and then it finally decides to aggro. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna immediately go behind, obviously. I'm gonna wait on the days because I want to be able to get the quick burst animation since it is faster than the other one. The idea is we want to burst it a couple of times until it goes into this corner. Once we get it into the corner, it's not that hard of a burst setup, and as you can see, it does drop plenty of materials. The problem is, as you saw before, getting it to even aggro at all is quite a pain in the butt. Probably the most unique, annoying monster. In fact, for that specific reason, I think I'm just gonna do this whole battle as exclusively Taion. Oh, and we already fell off the cliff. This is another problem with this particular battle. But that was pretty much on my dumb AI. Oh, and now the stupid weather came back again. We are going to make this video a bit longer to make this up, because remember, we still have to kill every single unique monster at least one time. That is a requirement. That is a hard requirement, that we kill each monster at least once. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and because it's another edge-based monster. Oh yeah, and as you saw before, because it's another edge-based monster, even getting it to aggro at all is very difficult, but I'm gonna kind of show you the general strategy on how I'm gonna do it. Basically, you want to go to the very edge of the map here. Throw it from the side, and then just kind of move around to the back until it will no longer move around. Then you're going to want to very quickly run behind it and burst it from behind. At least once, to get it to move into the right spot, which I did perfectly. But then, you're going to want to immediately click. This is what I should have done before. Have everybody follow leader right away. Sometimes... Oh, what the heck? Marabi's not doing that. What she's supposed to do. I literally clicked her to follow the leader, and she did not do that. Okay, there we go. Anyways, we did that just specifically to move them. So yeah, it's a pretty tricky setup, but once you get the hang of it, this is actually pretty fast for getting the materials. Just really annoying to start, because like, you have to aggro him from a very awkward spot, you have to get at least one burst on him, and you do that. Thankfully, once you get it at least once, he's going into a corner no matter what. It's also for that reason I want to play Tyon, specifically to control where he bursts to, so we can make sure he does not fall off a cliff. Unlike the previous monster, it is possible to get materials off of him, and as its highest Moramora in the entire zone, it'll have a really good drop chance, thankfully. I'm just gonna gauge first, even though it takes a bit longer. Yeah, somebody else bursted instead. Oh wait, no, I think that was me actually. It just activated faster than I thought. Apparently this can also be knocked back too. The idea though is we want to basically just keep knocking it back towards the kick. Thankfully though, regardless of our setup, we can at least get a decently long fight. They're not actually bursting it to the corner. Instead, they're bursting it somewhere else altogether. This is a pretty tedious battle, as you can see, though. It's probably annoying enough that once I do get the full Days Burst combo loop, I'm gonna do the wait for Topple to start up and then just chain it, I think, once I get the materials. The good thing is, if you have a lot of big attacks, you can very easily do stuff. Wow, that was a massive attack, it did. Remember, we're still at 99, which means we are supposed to have a very strong attack. Man. Look at us, look at it, already killing 2 of our characters and just wasting time. Note, when a character dies, they lose all of their charges, so now we have to build up Topple, Lunge, and Burst effect once again. Okay, I need to start healing them. I forgot that I am the one of the healers, and by moving into this spot, it's made it really hard to heal, but I don't really have much of a choice. Tyons are only really good first option and fast. You could just use a Troubadour itself, but that's really hard to use properly. Okay, here we go. Right, Topple. Might have been late there. Okay, now. Well, we got all the materials from it, thankfully, so now we're going to just execute it to make sure we never have to fight this fight again. Like I said, it's quite a tedious monster to aggro, but you'll find that it has the best drop, so we don't really have much of a choice here. I'm gonna go Tyon first. Don't have nearly enough percent to get the spin in our eyes. There we go. Got it. Have to do Cena, there's no other choice here. I use this one, which is slightly lesser than about perfect. But yeah, we got all of our materials, now we're just executing this monster with a chain attack so it doesn't come back. Or unless we want it to. Thankfully, once we execute it once, it's much easier to aggro since it'll always spawn from that same spot every time. You won't have to wait for it. But as you saw there, whenever you miss it, it can be very tedious. You have to do main pose since they have no other choice otherwise. I think we're going to just use all of our arts here. Alright. Oh, it's raining again. We have to execute it now. If we don't execute it, it's gonna leave. Remember, this monster hates lightning. Like, really hates it. As it's a flying monster. What else would you expect? I'm actually glad that chain lasted 3, because that was gosh darn terrible luck for the team. We didn't even get the 100% for their attack. There we go. At least we were able to skip the orbital examination. Ooh, we met an upgrade goal. Piercing laser. We haven't even used a piercing laser at all. Hey. Yeah, we killed our enemy because they got in the way. Wait, these... Why not? Wait a minute. They're still spawned in. Interesting. I guess they just fly around instead of sticking in the cliffs? That's weird. I thought they would despawn. But at the very least, I know that one despawns whenever you go to Fat. It's probably not going to show the thing on the map now, but you can see we do have it. So, we have gotten this. Olshonic Lushar. Yeah, that sounds like a really interesting name. Very mixed name, if you ask me. Alright, well, thankfully we don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, that was a big balance out. We went from having a very short video to now a very long video. Unfortunately, this video is now needs to be ended, because I'm ending this episode right here. Still, I hope you guys enjoyed. We like you enjoyed. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.